Pokemon Draft League is so back. We are officially taking part in our first Pokemon Champions Draft League, the DDL. The DDL is a VGC draft league. RIP 6v6, please bring it back, Pokemon. Please, 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 please. Where we all will be duking out each and every week against other coaches, hopefully bringing home a championship. Today, I just wanted to go over our team for this season and kind of explain my reasoning behind the picks. Now keep in mind this double stuff is still somewhat new to me, as I am a singles player at heart. Though I will say, I've made a ton of progress in my doubles journey, and I'm super confident in the skills that I've developed and the awesome team I've drafted, so I think that we can get yet another championship here. Hey guys, OGalbina here, and if you guys do enjoy today's draft analysis and are excited for the return of draft on the channel, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. On our way to 10,000 subs, and I can really only reach it with your help. That being said, let's jump into it. Alright, let's go over the structure and rules of the draft. This draft will be a free draft. This means, unlike usual drafts where there's a budget and Pokemon priced based on their value, you can draft whichever Pokemon we'd like with no restriction. The main reason for this is that the current Pokemon Champions deck is very limited and small. Making and trying to build a solid team with a budget is really brutal right now. We are also allowed to draft as many Mega Pokemon as we'd like, with the caveat that if we draft them as a Mega, they have to hold their Mega Stone at all times. For example, if I draft Mega Starmie and Mega Kangaskhan, I'm allowed to bring both to a battle. However, they must hold their Mega Stone and no other item. This is a bit different than something you would see in a singles draft, but double Mega teams are very common in VGC. Beyond it being a free draft, we also must draft 10 team members. Each week, we'll bring 6 Pokemon to take on our opponents, selecting 4 each battle in a best of 3 format. Winning 2 games in a set will give us the win. That should be all the ground rules. Let's take a look at what we're working with this season. We have the 12th pick of 14 coaches in this draft, meaning we're pretty close to a wheel pick. To start things off, we went with the top threat in the current regulation MA format, Mega Aerodactyl. Mega Aero checks off a ton of huge boxes for us. First up is the incredible speed tier. Mega Aero boasts the fastest raw speed stat in the format, tied with Mega Alakazam. That means barring certain Scarfers or Mons under Tailwind, you'll have the fastest one on the field when Mega Aero is out. Its speed tier also allows us to run either a ton of bulk or an adamant nature against teams with slower Pokemon. It also gives us more speed control with Tailwind, as it's one of the fastest users of the move. Outside of Prankster, Whimsicott, and Talonflame, we should be setting up our Tailwind for other members in our team faster than our opponent. Beyond these qualities, it offers some super strong spread damage and Rock Slide, anti-sash tech with dual Wing Beat, and even more good tech options like Tough Claws boosted Fire, Ice, and Thunderfang. It can even function without Mega Evolving if we want to bring another Mega Evolution alongside it. Round 2 came along and I was shocked to see Mr. VGC himself there, Incineroar. Now, Instant isn't as good in VGC draft as it is in regular VGC, due to the ability of being able to prep specifically for it. However, it is still an incredible support piece. With Intimidate, Fake Out, and Parting Shot, it's the ultimate pivot and facilitator for its teammates. And while it has lost tools in Knock Off, U-Turn, and access to Assault Vest, its opponents have lost some anti-instant tools as well. Pokemon have lost their access to Clear Amulet for Intimidate and Parting Shot, as well as Covert Cloak to avoid Fake Outs. This should allow Instant to still support Arrow and other members of our team in a major way. Round 3, and I wanted to secure a role I think is super limited in availability, Redirection. We saw Pokemon like Sinistcha and Maushold go super early in this draft, so I wanted to get the next best option, in my opinion at least. That is going to be Clefable. My singles GOAT isn't quite as broken in VGC, but it can for sure get the job done. With access to the aforementioned Follow Me and cool support options like Life Dew, After You, and Encore, it'll do a great job of supporting our teammates to their fullest capabilities. Round 4, we grab one of the best pieces I think we can possibly get alongside this bulky Instant Clefable Disruption Core, Kommo-o. Kommo-o fits the team perfectly. It pairs well with Mega Arrow in the sense that it smokes through Common Rock and Flying Resist, and alongside Instant Fake Out, Parting Shot, Intim Shuffling, and Clefable's Follow Me support, it can find numerous opportunities to set up in a multitude of ways. It can Clanger Soul for an Omni Boost, Iron Defense plus Body Press to become unkillable, or even Dragon Dance to boost up its physical attack. Kommo-o is an extremely versatile attacker and setup threat that pairs with our current roster in an incredible way. By the time of our next pick, I wanted to secure something that was in short supply on the board, a solid water type. So I grabbed Basculegion Female. Not as strong as its male counterpart, but still incredibly solid nonetheless. This thing gives me a ton of strong resists, a ghost type immune to fighting and fake out, and a super strong special attacker that can spam adaptability, Muddy Water, and Shadow Ball. Heck, even with our weaker physical attack, our boosted Adapt Blaster specs will hit teams super hard. It's also got some great natural growth and serves as our first viable choice Scarfer, something I think is super important in draft. Round 5, I want to shore up a big weakness on the team, Fairy types. We have Clefable to redirect Fairy moves away from Kommo-o, but that doesn't cover Dazzling Gleams or Hyper Voices from Pixelate Mons. Our Fire type and Instant also doesn't resist Fairy. So I grabbed Scizor with our next pick. Scizor not only handles fairies defensively, but also threatens them immensely with Technician, Bullet Punch. I also think having strong priority is huge in a format like this, ensuring I have a consistent option to move first, regardless of Tailwind or Trick Room. We now have yet another setup threat as well, alongside the Insane Clefable core with Swords Dance. This makes Scizor a real endgame threat. Now, when you take into account we have incredible counterplay for fire types, Scizor's only weakness, this makes this pick one of my favorites of the draft, and it's a Pokemon I'm super juiced to use. One of the most important roles you can have in a draft league is a strong ground type, and this is no different in VGC draft. For our ground, I grabbed Rhyperior. This gives us a strong Earthquake spamming Mon next to Mega Arrow, as well as a super bulky anti-Trick Room Mon. Under Trick Room will likely be one of the fastest Pokemon on the field, spamming Rock Slides and Earthquake with ease. Solid Rock is an incredible ability to help us stick around longer, and we can even tech on Lightning Rod to keep our Electric Weak Mons and Basket Legion and Mega Aerodactyl safe from T-Bolts and Volt Switches. We mentioned Trick Room with Rhyperior, but up to this point we don't actually have a setter ourselves. We fixed that with our next pick here, Cofagrigus. Kofag is an incredibly bulky ghost type that can set up Trick Room for our slower threats, but it also has some awesome defensive utility. It has access to an awesome ability in Mummy, removing any Pokemon that hits its ability. This then replaces it with Mummy itself. It's also a great check or counter to a ton of the scary fighting types that might threaten our Incineroar, as well as any Pokemon named Clefable or Basket Legion, to an extent. Our team is really slow up to this point, really relying on Tailwind, Scarfers, and Trick Room to maintain speed control. To middle out our tiers a little bit, I grabbed Johtoian, I think that's how you say it, Typhlosion next. This adds a whole different layer to our team offensively, giving us Eruption and Heat Wave spamming fire type moves alongside Arrow and its Tailwinds and Rock Slides. This really puts a lot of stress on our opponent in the builder, as now we have a legitimate Tailwind mode alongside Trick Room and Protect the King setup spam. This also gives us a Flash Fire immunity alongside Scizor if need be. Lastly, I really needed some weather control. I wanted a Pokemon that could not only function on the team well, but also reset the weather in the case we were playing into rain or sand. We covered sun teams pretty well to this point in my opinion. Therefore, I grabbed my second Mega Pokemon with my last pick, Mega Abomasnow. Obama functions as an incredible Trick Room attacker alongside Cofagrigus, spamming Blizzard, Grass moves, and Earth Power for resist. It also gives us elite weather control, as base Obama can reset the weather and then Mega Evolve, once again resetting the snow. This gives us yet another tech option of Aurora Veil as well, making our setup modes even more powerful. Yes, it's another 4x fire weakness, but we cover 5 types really well right now, so I'm not super worried. Plus, we drafted the best defensive fire type already. That is going to be the team for this season of the DDL. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I know it's not singles. Again, hopefully Game Freak decides to bring back 6v6 singles, and you can bet your ass I will be there immediately with a league. But until then, we have this, and then plenty of showdown stuff as well. So if you enjoy just draft league in general, and maybe even some single stuff, stick around. I definitely have more things planned for y'all. And yeah, let's see you guys in the next one. Later.